What's up, guys? It's Stu. We're back on the Ep3 and we are doing lowering suspension springs, majig things. We're going to lower the suspension. I've got this lovely second-hand kit off eBay that is rustier than a motherfucker. You can see all the rust all on there. I've already done one side. We are going to crack on with the rear first, and then we're going to do the back first. What you'll need is, for the rear, a breaker bar of some sort with a 17mm socket to get the bottom bolt of your shocker out, a little bopper with a 17mm to wind the fucker out because it's a bit easier. If you've got a little pry bar, I'm using a gearbox jack, but if you've got a trolley jack, that will do as well, just to get it back in. You'll see it later. Flat bladed screwdriver, 14mm socket, and a 3/8 ratchet that is inside the boot, so you'll see that later. An array of breaker bars. So I've already cracked off this bottom bolt here, if you can see, because I know the light is pretty damn poor. So as easy as that. Get your little pry bar and just pry the bottom of your shocker out. So that's that. Enough on the bottom. You can climb inside the boot, get your flat bladed screwdriver, and this is my 14mm. You need a 14mm ratchet, and it's better if you have a crankhead one or a floppy head one. I don't. I have to use this piece of shit. You've got two 14mm. One's a bit of a bastard to get to, and that will drop your actual strut out of the rear. And these are pretty damn tight. So loosen that off. This back one on my last one wasn't actually that tight, so because I think people struggle tightening the feckers up, but it is really fecking awkward to get. But if you see, a long extension fits in with a ratchet. For some reason my brain wasn't working on that day, so I did not even realise that I could get to it like that. But that's how you do it. So don't use a ratcheting spanner, just use a long extension. If you get a long enough extension, it does do as well. The other side just fits in, like so. So there you are. Enjoy the rest of the video. And these are a godsend, these ratchets. It might have been better to take this off first. No, there we are, that's loose. So that's the first nut off. This might actually drop now because I've actually, or it might actually sit where it is. Oh, it's going to sit where it is. It's going to be a good shocker. There we are, that's the rear off. It literally, if you can see this, folds out like so. They have a little dimple on, a little circle. Stick it in a vise, like so. Get yourself a fucking bopper. This is the big bopper with a 14mm. This is to get your top bolt out over here. Well, we need air. So undo. There you are. Then what I normally do with this sometimes is, so that's the little circle up there, I don't know whether you can see there, that's to the inside. And I don't think it matters because I don't think it matters, but to make sure, you can just get a pen or something. I use a little fucking grinder and I just put a line where my bolt is, and then I go down my shaft and I put a line on there. what that does, it gives me a reference point. So you don't need spring compressors. I literally take that off and put it down as it is. Spring off, all that shit comes out. Don't know where the fuck this car's been stored, but it's dirty as fuck. So that can be fecked off. Get your new spring, it only goes on one way. If you've got Apexi Apex rings, Apex springs, like myself. The tighter coils are at the bottom. So get your top mount for the strut, and that literally, you just line that up with that mark that you had before. You don't need to, like I said, spring compressors, you don't even need them because of how low these are anyway. Stick that on, and there you are. Rear spring done. So we do reverse this. This spring is actually fatter, so you do struggle getting the fecker back in. So the best way I found is to drop it from this side through the hole a bit. I might have a bit more room on this side because the fuel tank and everything's on the other side. But the exhaust is on this side, so I might not have enough fecking room. So I'll just drop it through until it goes through the fucking hole, like so, and then shove it back up through there. I just want to put that up there so it's resting like so, because we've got the top in anyway. Just get a few threads on one of your studs, like so. Put your back one on. That's a fecking bugger. And then we'll just nip them up just so it pulls me shocker up. So dog these up as tight as you can get them, because like I said, this back one is a fecking pain. And then that, if I can get my ratchet out, is all you need to do in the back of your car. So you put your little gay cover back on, it just pops off. Someone has run some wicked speaker wiring in this car. We've got it in the way of fecking everything. And there you are. So now we have, if you can see there, we have a strut ready to put back in. Get yourself a little pry bar. You can just pry these in. Like so. And the best technique I found to do this is to leave your pry bar in there. Doesn't matter which way, whether you want to do it that way or other way. And put your actual jack under the pry bar, and then that gives you enough room to get your actual bolt in. Let me go get an airline. You can get yourself a screwdriver as well, and that you can put that in the hole and jiggle it about. So, but normally, just doing that, jacking it and manipulating it like so, does the job. And there you are. Get a few threads started. Get your bopper. Bopper that on. Get your breaker bar or a giant ratcheting breaker bar like I've got here. And then all you want to do is just nip that up. There is torque settings. I don't know what they are. And there you are. Rear spring done. You need a 14mm socket. I have one on an extension, a deep socket, or is it a 13? 14mm deep socket to get your top bolts out of your top mount. 22 1/2" 19mm spanner. Screwdriver, that's to screw my brake back on later, so ignore that. We don't need this. You need a ball joint removal tool to get your tie rod end off your steering rack. A pair of cutters to get your split pin out, or a pair of long nose pliers. And I think that's it. Oh, and a 17mm to get your bolt out of your tie rod end. So let's get the shit to cracking. So get your split pin that's right here, you can see, and peel the fecker off. I'm going to replace these. You can get a set from any auto place that's nearby, motor factors, and you just grab it and pull it through. Like so. So that's your split pin out. I've got a new one of them. So take that out. And you want 19mm spanner. That's what fits my ball joint removal tool. Stick it on there like so. Spanner on. There we are. Gosh, like so. So that's your tie rod end off. That's that. So you want a 22mm spanner and a 22mm ratchet. I've got my big bopper with a deep 22 on. That 14 can go back in there. So, just wind them off. These are already cracked off because I've just done me ball joints. But there's the bolts for them. Do a bit of jostling. Make sure you take off your 10mm for your speed sensor, and you take your brake line 14mm off, or 12mm. I can't remember what size. It might be a 14. And you take that off to get your thing off. You do this all with your caliper on. So there's that out, and that should just pull forward like so. There you are. So that's all loose now. All we need is a deep 14. I put it on an extension. And if you can see this, I know it's going to be quite hard because I'm going to be doing it like so. And undo your 3 top mount bolts. I'm just going to do them like that so you can see, because it's quite awkward because I've not dropped. But you get the fucking idea. Them 3 bolts out. So you're just going to, and then what you want to do is hold your strut from the bottom here while undoing your last top one so that you don't drop it. So as we take this out, I'll show you where the markings are. And there you are. So we took it out this way. This is the outside of the vehicle. See, someone's put this on the wrong way. Someone's had this off because the marking here, there's a little square marking. That should go to the outside of the vehicle according to the manual. So what I do, because you've got 2 holes here, these 2 holes are for the, these 2 holes here go into the car like that way. But what I do, again, get me a little handy 2L, and I just write I just write wheel on it, as you can see. So, and that's it, your top mount moves, so you don't have to try and figure that out. Like I said, the little nodule here, if you can see it, someone's already had these off because they've got markings all over them, I don't know what for. There's a little arrow here like this. So you can see that, there's a little arrow there on this little dobber, and that's supposed to go here, facing outwards, but it isn't. Someone's been fecking around. So you need a 17, I think it is. Yeah, that's 17 with your big bopper. Ooh, this is a bit heavier than the other one. Take my 22 off, I don't need that yet. Whoa. So wind it up. No, that's on. And there you are. So you take your top mount off, make sure that your bottom stays on, because that does come off. Lift your spring off. And there you are. So you're going to take this off. Get your nice rusty spring. So your tight bit goes to the bottom and your springs, loose bit to the top. Put that on there. Get your top mount on and put the arrow to the outside of the vehicle. That on top. Your little arrow here points to the outside of the vehicle, like so. Get your top mount. Oh shit. So that's how that goes on there. If you manage to drop that off and it spins around, like so. We've got a bit that goes to the wheel, all marked up now. Push down, because these don't need spring compressors. And then your top mount spins anyway, so you can move that back around, and there you are. One spring done. Whew. So thread that back up like you have. You're going to put this up with one hand, go up top and just screw one of your bloody things in. So look through your hole. You can't see this because I'm going to get so you can see. And there you are, tightened up. Oh, nice and tight. If you can see, I know loads of shit's in the way, but whew, so that's that. So now you just push your strut back here, bit of jiggery pokery, and that literally goes back on there. Get your bolts. You can't remember which way they went, which I can't remember which way they went. I don't think it matters which way your bolts go, but you go bolt to the front, which is a bit odd because you think they go to the rear so they don't get any shit in them. So that's your first bolt there. So just push your strut back to get your other one in, like so. Get your bolts on there, we'll dog them up in a second. You want your tie rod end up on there, that just goes in like so. Get your tie rod end bolt, tighten that up. That's a 17, a 22s and a 19. Sometimes you don't need a spanner because it's actually great. That's them on there. So you just wind it up so you can see where your hole is for your split pin. So it's still tight. There you are. And then you go get, this is my little split pin kit that I've got. Just here. Comes with an array there to do your bowl joints. These are big motherfuckers for summit. They're bigger motherfuckers for summit. And the smallest ones are this. There's no markings or anything. Oh yeah, there is connects there. Get your split pin. You can see this. Yes, you can. And shove the fecker in. Get your cutters. So it doesn't matter which way you put it in, whether you put it lengthways, sideways, backways, frontways, fucking anyways. It doesn't really fucking matter. You can put it lengthways if you're really bothered. Put it sideways if you want to make life a lot easier for yourself. So you just grab a leg, pull it back, same with other leg, and pull it back like so. I normally use the hole that is in the bottom of it to squeeze it to the actual nut, if I can get it on, like so, you see that? So I do have camber bolts, camber arms, but I'm going to go get it aligned because I've done so much work to it over the last couple of weeks. I've probably disturbed something. That's just splitting him. So I'm going to give them the camber bolts and them the camber arms and say, you fit them fuckers. So put your brake line back in. That's where you're going to take off. This is why I didn't show you taking off because mine was already off. You're going to have yours connected to your actual pad. And put your speed sensor back on. I don't think they're an ABS, I don't even think it's got ABS. So they're at 10 and a 12. I've got braided hoses to put on as well, but I'm not doing them tonight. I'm just going to bleed my brakes up. I'll drive it, make sure everything drives alright, and then I'll do them another day because I've been spending way too much time working on this piece of fucking garbage. And there you are. So if you already got your caliper and shit on, that's it. I did cut all my dust shields off. If you've seen my video with my crankcase and my sump where I had a leak, it was actually my crankcase, my crankshaft seal. I've got a video, pulled it off, putting my new one on, bosh, no fucking oil leaks. I just found a receipt as well of the guy that I actually bought it off. And he bought a fucking litre of oil on his way down, so he must have known it was fucking leaking. And I just didn't even see it. I didn't get underneath the vehicle. All I was bothered about was, did it sound alright? And it sounded alright. No knocking or banging or anything, so that's it. So if you want to watch me put a caliper on, I'm just going to fast forward it through the end of the video, but if this is your time where you turn YouTube off and start going onto the dark side of the YouTube, be my guest. Cheers for watching. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments box. Give us a like and a subscribe. There will be more on this EP3 because I've still got quick shift, other niggly bits to do. Obviously brake lines to change, some other bits. My wheels obviously to put on there with 20mm spacers because they don't fecking fit. And then hopefully in a year's time or 2 years time or something, then I'll be on my mini build using this exact engine and a space frame mini. So watch this space. So thanks for watching. Give us a like and subscribe, and I will see you in a bit. But if you're going to stay and watch, it's going to go really, really fecking fast now while I put all my caliper and brake discs on and shit. So stay tuned if that's what you're into.
Oh, for fuck's sake, get off.